Climate smart agriculture has become a pathway to development and food security. It is now being practiced by rural farmers across the country. In Lira City, for example, a group of women in Ayago ward, have taken it up amid challenges. I spoke to them recently, and each of them said how much they have benefited from the new form of farming, and two, they shared their problems. I started with Betty Omara, and this is what she said. I plant vegetables, beans, and sweet potatoes. My biggest challenge is the current dry spell, which has forced us to fetch water from the nearby stream to feed our crops. Secondly, my garden has been frequented by animals from the nearby homes. I wish we can be supported with watering cans or small irrigation kits. This will help us a lot, she said. Every season, she earns not less than 700,000 from what she harvests. I am Nancy Abanya. I had put my tomato seedling in a nursery bed. Unfortunately, floods came and washed them away, and yet the cheapest you can buy a tomato seedling for planting is 60,000 minus pesticides and fertilizer. After the tomatoes were destroyed, I resorted to Sukuma Wiki, and I have just replanted them, and I am behind my fellow women. In the past rain, I planted tomatoes and I got huge harvest in May last year. I sold each box at 30,000. There was no money at that time. People were doing badly, and the money from the sale of tomatoes helped me to pay school fees for my children. My husband is a mansion, and he had no money because there were no houses to build at that time. I am urging fellow women and those watching me that agriculture is the best and tomatoes as ready market. My appeal is, if there is someone who can support us, help us with seedlings. I also grow maize, but sometimes it is hard to have money to buy seedlings. Pesticides and fertilizers are also very expensive. Now in this season, I am focusing on Sukuma Wiki. A sack of Sukuma Wiki goes for 25,000 and 15,000 or 10,000 if the prices fall. There is money in Sukuma Wiki, and it's why I have taken it up. You can pick it 3 times a week, and it has helped me a lot. I am Grace Opido. I practice climate smart agriculture, a new form of farming now. During hot season, as it is now, I and my husband use water we have preserved in the hole. We collect this water and sprinkle it on our cocoa and banana plantation. Drawing water from this hole is also not easy, and we think if there is any well wisher, we need pipes and sprinkler. My ambition is huge. I am planning to establish a fish pond for the future. The ambition is huge, but the motivation to do it is low. I believe God will answer my prayer to have a fish pond one day. I hope so. Look at this dry area. We use watering can to keep it moist. I water it twice a week. This is not yielding good results because it is really hot, and I think irrigation is the only hope. In this small space alone, I can earn not less than 300,000 from the sale of vegetables. After 3 weeks, I am able to harvest and head to the market. Sometimes my customers come home. In a season, I make up to 1 million. Doing agriculture near the swamp has been our only hope because climate has changed. It has really changed. And for me, it's not an easy task. We have to spend. I spend close to 200,000 to prepare this small area alone. And when it comes to planning, it costs not less than 100,000. And while dozens of rural farmers countrywide are yet to get support from the government through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, in partnership with NARO and Uganda National Meteorological Authority, who are implementing a 6-year climate smart agriculture transformation project. So much is yet to be done. The project aims to increase productivity, market access, and resilience of select value chains in the project area. In Lango sub-region, Oyam and Lira have are some of the beneficiaries, with expectation that the project will be enrolled to meet the local demand. I am Florence Ojok. I am doing farming in the wetland because of the change in climatic conditions over many years ago, and it's now very difficult to practice agriculture on the island. I plant different types of vegetables, sweet potatoes, and rice. After I have harvested them, I am able to manage family needs, and I have convinced myself this is the way to go. In a year, I get between 500 to 600,000. Unfortunately, farming in the wetland is not like doing it upland. You have to plan in a way that when rain comes, it does not affect your crops. Planning is also very hard because rain comes anytime. Very hard to predict it these days. Last season, our gardens were doing very well. Unfortunately, rain came and submerged it, and we made a loss. Florence, like other women, is now using watering can to draw water from a hole they have dug to keep water. This water helps them sprinkle in their garden. We are requesting those who can support us with irrigation to come so we are able to do more and to see that our yields or harvest gets better year by year.